Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is AJ Writes Crypto, and no lie, I spent about an hour and a half to 2 hours preparing this video for you guys right now. We are about to take a look at 20 charts. I'll go through them fast, I promise. But lately altcoins have just got demolished, and I have a lot of people ask me, AJ, what do I do? Should I cycle out of coins? What do I do? What do I look at? In these 20 charts, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you specifically the Fibonacci level from local high to cycle low for each chart. And I'm going to show you the strength and weakness of 20 charts that I want you to take into account when making your decision on what you should do. Of course, I'm going to start with the strongest charts first, with Bitcoin being one of the strongest charts there is. It is still all the way up here between 0 and 0.236. All right. Bitcoin isn't very far away from all-time high. All right. About a 13% pump away from its all-time high. Obviously we will be concerned. This is an evolving type of video. I will come back to this idea in a month or so, but Bitcoin really would really be nice to see it hold this level right around here at 50,000-60,000. basically. We don't want to see local low 56 get lost, and we are just closing below the 50 EMA on the daily for Bitcoin. But it doesn't mean it can't come here and bounce and continue. It doesn't mean it's the end of the world just because it's closing below the 50 EMA. But that is obviously a very strong chart. Another strong chart that's in the same range is no other than Ethereum. Ethereum, same idea as Bitcoin, got the slightly lower high, just about to close below the 50 on the EMA, but nevertheless, it is trading between the very top, all right, and the 0.236. All right, these are two very strong coins. Obviously, Ethereum has come down here and tested, the 382, and then continued back on up the hill. That has been the test before. So if Ethereum loses this, we can maybe see another drop to maybe 2850, 29, 2700, something like that, and maybe a continuation. Or let's just hope for the best and hope that it stays in the range that it's in. So these are example, Bitcoin and Ethereum, obviously, of two very strong coins, obviously. Now we're going to start moving down the hill in terms of strength, starting with Jasmy. Jasmy, believe it or not, first of all, from the low here up to the high, we're talking almost a 2,000% pump in less than 300 days. Absolutely insane movement from Jasmy, but it is trading between the 0.236 and the 382. All right. And it is still here. And really, you kind of want Jasmy to hold 0.28 because, that kind of would take it back into this range if it lost that level. So I would set an alarm right there at 0.0288 on Jasmy, so we can continue. Hopefully it bounces still above the 50 EMA. This is still a very strong coin when we're talking alt. All right, it is only it would still be about a 50% pump, 49% pump if it went from its current price back to all-time highs. Another coin in that same range of strength is Solana, obviously a very strong coin. If Solana was to go back to its all-time high, it's actually dancing on a fib level right now, it'd be about a 56-57% pump. But we got to keep a close eye on Solana because unlike Jasmy, it's actually below the 50 EMA and above testing the 200. Solana has had some bullish positive tests off the 200 EMA on its way up the hill. And also notice on Market Cypher down here, I left this open for a reason. A lot of these have really big dips down on the momentum wave. And when you see large dips like that on the momentum wave, especially on the daily chart, each and every one of these charts is the daily chart, we can expect it to come around. I am kind of thinking, if not already in the next week or so, I would not be surprised for the local bottom to be in for a lot of charts, given that Bitcoin works with us and stock market is still putting an all-time high. So this kind of assessing the strength of Solana. So it's not as strong as Bitcoin or Ethereum, but it's right there, with Jasmy, taking another step down. Now we're looking at the 0.382 to the 0.5 level. We have Arweave actually dipped below on its way to the 618 here, but has fought its way, still putting in higher lows, structurally speaking, printing its green dot on Market Cypher. Structurally, Arweave looks pretty good as long as it stays above this Fibonacci level on the price. That would be about $26. You want to see Arweave stay above 26 bucks. From its current price point back to its local high, you're looking at a 78% pump. And I'm going to do this for everyone because I want you to see, I want you to realize that, okay, we lost a bunch of ground since the local highs in March and May. All right, so every coin had some coins had it in March, some coins had it later on, like Arweave. Those local high levels, in some case all-time high levels, are now targets. If you really think Arweave is never going to go back to, $48, $50, then we don't have conviction in crypto. What are you doing here? Okay, so I have full faith that all of these coins are likely to regain these levels at some point in time. So we're going to assess the strength and the weakness and how much of a pump it would be if we got back to that level. And that's why we're doing this video. So for Arweave, we're still relatively strong. We're above the 0.5 on the Fibonacci. It'd be a 78% pump back to that high there. All right, same level as Arweave is Render. All right, Render had an extremely good pump this year. I mean, from the lows here to the top, we're talking 7,000%. I went to the low of Render back in 2022. The cycle low would be over. I don't know if you still count that the cycle low. I kind of just went from the low of each chart, to be fair. So from top to bottom. All right. So from bottom to local top, excuse me. I want to make sure I'm speaking correctly. So, we're between the 0.382 and the 0.5 on Render. And just like Arweave, putting in slightly higher lows here, would like to see that, would really be upset if Render goes below 695 on the price. We want to see Render stay above that. You could consider that maybe a parachute sell level. And if Render got back to its local high, that'd be about an 80% pump. So Arweave and Render are right there in terms of strength and in terms of the pump back to the local high there. Also a coin in the same range between 0.382 and 0.5, like in between here, okay, on the Fibonacci is Near. All right, just look at this momentum wave gain. When they go down far like that, I'm telling you, this kind of has my theory wrapped up on why I think we're close to a local low if we already haven't been there. This could be the local low for Render right here. It very well could be, given the size of this momentum wave. Even I have the volume profile. I don't want to talk about the volume profile on every one because the video would be an hour. But even in this case, Render from its current price to the top of to the point of control on the volume profile would be a 46% pump back to the point of control, and to the local high would be about an 80% pump. So, Arweave, Render, Near are all very similar in terms of strength and very similar in terms of the pump required to get back to local high. I kind of put them all in the same basket here. All right, let's hope Near stays above, $5 and doesn't come, down and maybe test the 618. You'd be talking maybe $4. It would drop a whole dollar in the event that's happened. I want to hope that Near holds this $5 level. All right. So moving on to Link, also in the same realm of strength as the other ones we just talked about before, the Nears, the Arweaves, the Renders. All right. There are a little bit differences here, though. So this has still been putting in, higher lows. That's structurally good, despite it putting in lower highs. So kind of, long-term time frame, we're kind of look at it like this. And there will be a point of intersection where it's either going to have to break up or break down. So it's your job to do the homework on each of those charts that we're going through here and find those alarm levels based off if it in the sort of type of it's not exactly a symmetrical triangle, but it has the same idea as a symmetrical triangle. All right. Also, notice how on Link that the momentum wave isn't coming as far down as the other ones. You see how this one came down much further here, but still, nevertheless, has printed a green dot like many of the charts have on market cipher B. All right. So Link, we would really like to see it hold above $13.73 in terms of, so it doesn't lose this 0.5 Fibonacci level. And for Link to get back to its local high, that would be about a 60% pump. So it's in the same strength level as Near, Arweave, all right? But Near, Arweave, Render are 80% pump back to local high, where Chainlink is only a 60% pump back to local high. These are things we want to keep in mind. Dogecoin. Also, so this is about a step down. This is between the 0.5 and the 618. For if Dogecoin goes below 11.7, so 0.117, if it goes below that, it would be between the 618 and the 786. Right now, it's between the 618 and the 0.5 on the Fibonacci. So, kind of taking a little step down here in terms of strength. All right. Also note that Dogecoin just had a candle close below the 200 EMA, but it could be bouncing off Fibonacci, and it could come up from here and reclaim that maybe range in here a little while. If you kind of draw, the angles here on Doge, almost kind of forms a little bit of a triangle there. Nevertheless, so kind of a medium strength coin for Doge. We're talking an 86% pump back to local high. And just like the others, has a green dot printed on the daily chart. Pretty big momentum wave forming here for Doge. You would think that Doge and Shiba are the same strength. I mean, they're both top 15, top 20 crypto projects, right? But Shiba is actually a step down in strength. Shiba is between the 618 and the 786 in strength. We really would like to see Shiba get back above the 618, get back above a lot of zeros 2-1, and not come all the way down to the 786. I mean, that would be pretty detrimental for Shiba. Also, when you kind of consider, if you kind of draw this line across from the 786, you realize that, first of all, this is kind of the value area for SHIB. All right. We want to get back into this value area. And then the volume, there's probably not much volume here because it quickly moved from the 786 to the 618, quickly moved from this level to that level. Because if we get back down here, this is the value area low. All right. So we really want to see SHIB get back above a lot of zeros 2-1 to get back into that bigger value area. All in all, for SHIB to get back to local highs here, we're talking about 153% pump for Shiba Inu. As you can see, the numbers start to get bigger as we get into the weaker coins. And that is the point I'm driving home here. I want you guys to make sure that you are targeting coins that have a good pump number to get back to local highs, because these are all now targets. Let's remember, we are still post-halving. All in all, we will look back and probably view this period in time as a bear trap. That's what I'm thinking here, and that's why I'm making this video. I want you guys to be well aware of these metrics. All right. Avalanche, also between the 618 and the 786. All right. Let's hope Avalanche can reclaim around $30 here, because we don't want to see Avalanche fall into the old value area. That would be very detrimental. As long as Bitcoin and everything holds strong, I am hoping that these are going to turn around sometime here soon. I think that if we reclaim the 618, oops, not mean to do that. If we can reclaim the 618, we can kind of have this conversation, not this conversation. All right. So there is a lot hanging on this, and this is why this is an evolving video. I will come back to this topic in a month or so. Like I said, from the current price back to local high, we are looking at 140% for Avalanche. H-bar, same strength level as Avalanche. For H-bar to go from current price back to local high would be 125%. Not to mention, it is good to see the kind of momentum wave pushing up like that, given how far H-bar has come down. We would really not like to see H-bar go below 7 cents, 0.67, because that literally would take it back to this value area. You have to assume that if it comes back into here, it's likely to come down into here. So we really needs to be the local low for a lot of these coins. And you need to be aware of, okay, at what price point would I lose this Fibonacci level? If for the coins you're holding, you need to know that number in your head. For H-bar, it is at 0.068 or 67, okay, just below 7 cents. The graph in the same strength level as H-bar, and was the one before that, Avalanche, okay? It's between the 618 and the 786. From its current price point, the graph is 126% away from local highs. Not to mention, with the graph putting in a slightly lower low, and this momentum wave actually being a bit taller than the most recent one, we do kind of have a long-term bullish divergence forming here for the graph. Let's hope the graph can plant its feet and not fall below the 786 level, which would be if the graph lost 16 cents. All right, so pretty solid move for the graph to get back to this local high. This is certainly one I am targeting. Another coin in the same strength level, Cardano, almost down into between the 786 and the 1. Cardano's very close. It actually bounced off of that on the recent pump down. If Cardano goes below 36 cents, we are talking complete old value area for Cardano. If Cardano goes from current price back to Local high, we're talking 109%. Let's certainly hope it starts going that direction and does not go below 36 cents. That is a big alarm for Cardano. Algorand, also just like Cardano, very close, bouncing off the 786, not into this range yet, but bounced off of it and moved up a little bit on small time frames. For Algorand to go from current price point back to local high, we're talking 133%. You all know this is certainly one I am targeting. I feel like this is a good time to accumulate Algorand. It is currently, defined as a very weak coin, and I am targeting weak coins that have good pumpamentals back to the local high targets, Algorand being one of them. I mean, keep in mind, when Algorand is 138, 139% pump back to local high, and Cardano is 106% pump, you got to think, well, which one's the better choice here? No shots against Cardano, but it's also a much larger market cap, and it takes a lot for it to move. Of course, I'm going to target the smaller market caps where it takes a lot less money to make a lot bigger move in the chart. All right. VeChain, same strength level, not as far down as Cardano and Algorand, but still in between the 618 and the 789. All right. So from where VeChain is to local top, 112%, right in the middle there. Also kind of got an impending death cross here on the EMAs. Let's hope that doesn't take VeChain below 2 cents. Basically, if VeChain goes below 2 cents, you kind of have to anticipate the rest of that value area if it goes below there. All right. And of course, when people talk Solana, I think, what coins are in the Solana ecosystem? In my mind, one of them is Jupiter. I've done very well day trading Jupiter, and I have my eye on it as it is literally dancing on the line of the 786. All right. So if we go from where we are to local high, we're talking 147%. Does have a big momentum wave. Let's hope Jupe puts in a low here. We don't want to see Jupe go below, or we kind of have to anticipate the rest of that range. All right. Let's hope that this is the local low for Jupe. Pyth. So Pyth is the weakest coin I found on this list. It is actually between the 786 and the very bottom. All right. And for Pyth to get back to its local high, we are talking a 274% pump. But there's an asterisk next to this one. Why is that? Because the supply has a cliff unlock that basically doubles the supply once a year. And it actually happened somewhere in here. There was a big sell-off anticipating that unlock. But now the unlock is unlocked and it can reclaim. But understand that for it to get to back to where it was, it has to have twice the market cap, because the supply was half of what it is now when it did this pump here. So be aware of that moving forward with PYTH. So here is Fibonacci for Phantom. And this is the point I'm driving home here. This is the Fibonacci for Phantom back in 2021. From the bottom, it came up here in May of 21, local high at the time. It came here to the 786. All right. It actually dipped below it just a little bit, trying to trap the traders that say, oh, lost that fib level, let's go short. That was a cut and dry bear trap that it dipped below it just a little bit. That happens all the time. And then from there, look what happened. It tested off. At that time, it would have been a weak coin, right? In 2021, it bounced off this, and boom, Phantom went from 20 cents to, how high did it go to again in 2021? I mean, this was a mover to 350. All right. So don't tell me that a coin that is a weak coin at the 786 or the 618 can't put up some serious numbers, because it's happened before. And guys, we're approaching the new cycle as we speak. We are post halving. I am still going into this cycle right on time. All right. 2025 is going to be a big year. Phantom right now is actually right on the 618. This is the current Phantom chart. If we lose the 618, we could anticipate it going to the 786 like it did back in 2021. That would take Phantom's price to about 38 cents from where it is right now this moment. Back to local high, we're looking at 120%, 119% pump to get back to that local high. And, just like the other ones, it does have a big momentum wave forming. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like we are very close, if not already past the local bottom for a lot of these alts, considering how strong Bitcoin and Ethereum are. Bitcoin dominance has been running the show, and that is a lot of why altcoins have bled so much and Bitcoin and Ethereum have held so much of their strength. Dominance is really taking over, but that's a part of the cycle. That's a part of the game. So guys, that is it for all the charts. Now you know which coins are strong, which coins are in the middle, which coins are weak. Now you know how far away the target is to get back to local high. I want you to consider this video. And if I missed any coins, pull the fib on your own. Go to Fibonacci, pull from the cycle low to the local top, and figure out how strong is the coin you're targeting. How far away is the local high target from where it sits now? What would the price be if it lost the next level? How much would that hurt your bags? You want to play the game. You want to be well aware of the strength and weakness of the coins you're holding. And if you're holding a bunch of strong coins that have, don't have much room to pump to get back to local highs, maybe you should shift over into some coins that are weak, that have, 100, 130% pumps that get them back to that local high target. This is kind of how I'm playing the game. I wanted you to have a little bit of insight with 20 charts on how I am going about this. I am certainly targeting coins like Phantom, targeting coins like the Graph, Algorand, HBAR, a splash of Cardano, many more. I think my private portfolio does consist of about 15 coins right now. I'm going a little bit bigger than usual in terms of coin selection, but I'm also, with each coin that you bring into your portfolio, you have to make sure you have an exit scenario based off of time and price action, multiple scenarios for each coin you hold. So it is like a responsibility. I always say that holding a new coin is like adopting a kid, and you have to make sure you take care of it with the same way you take care of all your other kids. So it's kind of a silly analogy, but you get my point. All right. So guys, I want to know down below, which coins are you looking at? Which coins that are weak that you think are going to get back into that strength and reclaim those local highs? I want to know what you think. Make sure you smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I have a really interesting video with J-Chains that we just filmed about, alts just got wrecked. What do you do? This is kind of more of the technical way to look at it, versed off strength and weakness in Fibonacci. That is kind of the conversation we have, is more the day-to-day pragmatic consistency type of conversation that you will get a lot of value out of. So make sure you watch that video tomorrow when I put it out. Big shout out to my guy J-Chains. That's all I got, everybody. Get rich or get wrecked. Have yourself a safe rest of your day. Peace.